Okay, so brief recap over the slightly extended break that we've had. Looks like on our way back from the uh, the hidey hole that that Captain Switcher had made for himself. Well, you're on the return journey. It's been, well, you can't really quite tell how long it's been. You've felt the need to rest like maybe twice over the course of this journey so far. We've had we've had Gil be a popular figure here with both Skadi and Roro holding conversations with them. Uh, Roro expressing the desire to be trained in the ways of combat that that Gil possesses, only to be questioned about his motives. Having no given answer, Roro wanders away, having a small bit of a heart-to-heart with Scotty over just the recent events and basically them kind of poking at each other, seeing if they're all right. To little to little greater understanding of one another. And Scotty has spoken with Gil in regards to a vision that she had received. Apparently, making a decision to seek the flame from her vision. And I suppose that is where we can pick things up. Everybody is still on the boat.
I hope this boat burns when we get off. I
Oh,
mean,
that's rude. So, what are you up to during the last leg of your trip?
am I to assume I'm underground or on the ledge? Or under
You're
the boat?
you're not under the boat. That shaded part is the base deck, the lighter tones, like where you would find Nicole, Scotty, and Gil are kind of like up the second, the second, the first raised platform on the deck, and then further back on the
Oh,
ship raises up once again.
I
So there's like 3 levels on the deck, and then like I think there's like 2 under the boat,
oh.
if I'm recalling correctly. I had all the floors laid out at some point, but apparently not anymore.
Thank you.
So, nothing in particular that any of you are doing.
Yeah, Roro is hiding under his bed.
Hiding
Specifically.
under his bed.
Specifically.
There's not exactly a lot of room for you to get under the bed.
He's under it.
Why not? You know what? Give me
No.
just a dexterity check.
Oh!
Well, that would be good, except that was a save, and I'm just saying a check. Oh boy, you just okay. So Roro's hid himself under the bed for whatever reason he decided he wants to be under the bed.
If anyone paid attention to my conversation with Gil, they would understand why I didn't. They won't understand why I didn't just jump off the boat.
Nobody threatened you.
No, but at this point. Anyways, we're moving on. Scotty, do something.
Roddy doesn't really have a whole lot to do after talking to Gil except think.
All right, so you're just kind of going about the tasks that
Sure.
were assigned to you to kind of keep things moving on the boat. Will probably be a while before there's a knock on Roro's cabin door.
What was that last thing you said?
Roro, there's after a while of you hiding under the bed, there is a knock on your door.
Oh, grudgingly walks over to open it, peeks out, hoping it's not.
There is the captain just kind of there looking. It's, there's a bit of mixed curiosity and maybe concern in his expression. Just hadn't seen you in a little while. Are you doing okay, Roro?
Not gonna lie, I kind of like how he says my name. Not Roro, me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Roro fully opens the door. I apologize. Everything is okay. Is there anything you need me to do?
Well, there is still the work up on deck, if you don't mind.
Right away.
You sure you're feeling all right?
Peachy. Big smile. Pearly white smile.
There's no complaint or argument as he's gotten you up on deck and back to your duties. Maybe a little concerned, but we don't even know.
It's okay. Roro goes back to his very lovely favorite boat song. Dad Shark.
Oh, it hurts. Why do you do this to your crew?
Hey, if they didn't hate me when I first got on, they're certainly going to when I get off.
You know, some people try and make friends.
I am not one of those people.
Then stop complaining when people don't like you. I'm just gonna say some actions are self-defeating.
If they don't like me at my worst, they don't deserve me at my best.
That's an inherently flawed statement.
Fine. If someone requests Roro to stop singing, he will stop singing. Except for Gil. He'll sing louder.
Oh well, that's certainly gonna help your case, isn't it?
It will.
He's not gonna teach you He's not gonna teach you kung fu just to shut you up.
Maybe that's his own problem. You might give him his life coach.
God, Roro, why? Find your inner
Roro is
peace.
going to apparently silently go about his duties because no one likes singing anymore.
Oh no, they like. You know what? Singing is fine. No one has complained about your voice. It's just when you start, endlessly chattering on "row, row your boat," that's when they get a problem.
Should I go on to Nickelback then? Huh?
Oh, let's just not do that either, huh? Captain Selva doesn't know what's wrong with that, but he's not quite comfortable with those sort of.
I'll make you come.
Well, good luck with
Not
that.
Roro.
Hmm. So you're going about your tasks. You've probably ended up resting once more. and are back out on the deck. The crew is definitely on high alert. They're kind of frazzled. You're seeing that trying to navigate here in the dark is pretty difficult. Keeping they have to keep pretty close. They have to keep fairly close to shore, but they also have to stay far enough not to beach themselves, which not having any kind of light whatsoever is, well, a trying task. And as you're making your way down the coastline, um, I'd like both of you to check your perceptions. Both of you attacked by the Kraken. Uh,
Everyone's lost in song over here.
he's humming. He's humming his way through life at the moment. Um, well, good thing for you. This was more of a matter of first noticing. Um, Something instinctually kind of like sparks in the back of your mind, in the back of your awareness, Scotty, as as you kind of turn off to the side of off of the boat, just kind of lost in thought as you have been the last, you know, however long since it was since you rested. That you, it takes you a moment, and then there's this kind of sinking feeling that you have kind of down in your chest before you see the faintest sliver of like this deep, like an indigo. And slowly it cracks longer and wider as you start to see the breaking of the horizon. For the first time in forever, you've seen more than like, 100 feet out into the darkness. But there is that slight knife cut of a color not black, and it's slowly starting to get wider.
Okay, I'm gonna have Scotty run over to Gil. Um, she's gonna be a little frazzled, of course, and this is like my vision.
Hmm. you as you approach Gil, he's still very very much at the wheel. He's got one foot on the lower rung, as he's just still got his eyes focused and kind of peeled out on the sailors uh, who are keeping an eye on the shoreline and the water. Just slowly turns and says, "What's that?"
The horizon, Gil.
I'm sure you point the direction and just he gets that kind of that squinted eye look. His head kind of tilts on a pivot, just like, uh, what? Oh, his eyes kind of widen at a bit of a realization. He goes,
I mean, that this is well,
"Oh, not even paying attention to that shit." Just, "I'll be drowned." The hell is that?
well, I don't
Uh,
Oh, light.
know.
as it starts getting wider, that deep color starts getting a little brighter. A little brighter. You're starting to see lighter shades of blue starting to peak up, a color almost forgotten, except in the, fire lit locks of your friend here. Roro, at this point, you notice this too as you're looking up from just kind of tying off some ropes on the side of the ship.
Roro's going to gaze and then taking everyone and slightly glimpse.
Slightly what?
Am I saying that right?
The
Rimming.
grimace?
Ooh. Ooh.
Apparently, Roro's going through his emo phase. He likes the dark.
Why about now?
So, a moment passes, and you see the faintest bits of that pre-dawn orange start to trickle over the horizon before there's a whistle that comes from Gil and kind of signaling to the captain. It just looks like we got dawn. Like, shut up, Gil. Not tired. Not in the mood for your job. Well, shit.
Amen.
As 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 Nicole will go and start getting the men to kind of pull up sail, to kind of give them a bit of a pause. And the sails are drawn up, and the motion that the slight the trade winds were putting into the sails kind of dies out, and the boat, for lack of better things, comes to as much of a stop as the current will allow for. As everybody on board just kind of takes a moment in kind of this wonder about good 10-20 minutes just to stare at this this now foreign entity that's rising up, and that slight bits of warmth just kind of peel out and strike on your skin, that almost now long forgotten sensation, as eventually you'll have to kind of turn your attention away from directly. But today the sun has risen.
And now you all can bask in Roro's beauty.
I mean, you are kind of albino. I'm surprised you don't sparkle.
Well,
Thanks.
Scotty kind of sparkles since her scales are reflected
This is true.
with all the pretty colors.
Everyone's looking at that ass now. Anyways.
We'll just end up tying a line to her head and use her as as a as a fishing lure.
Rude.
Nice.
That'll get you frosted really fast.
That I'm sure it will, and I'm sure they'll deserve it too. But yes, slowly sun rises. There's that gleaming sparkle, almost like a trail that kind of stretches on towards and past you, as there's just words fail, and not just my own, to describe this scene. You see the coastline is pretty close. It actually makes you a little nervous to finally see it as such, but you're probably maybe 100 feet from shore right now. and just a little off from that is some rather jagged-looking rocks. If for nothing else, these men have been. You get a sense of why they were rather concerned. But that long moment stretches on, and eventually Nicole will just kind of, all right, all right. We've been staring enough. Put the sails back out. Gil, pull us out. We're going for speed now. All right, Captain. Be good to see what this thing can do again. That is, if you've been keeping care of it. Yes, just get it done. As the crew will get back to their stations and start putting this boat to haul ass. And the difference in speed is noticeable at that point, because now you can see the coast kind of. Apparently, the Drift is a fast ship when it's let off its chain, so to speak. After
I
kind
love
of.
hauling.
What's that?
I love hauling ass.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Running is what Roro does best.
So shut the hell up. No one asked you for your opinion.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Okay. Keep that in mind. But after setting the ship's course, Gil gets one of the other crewmen to just kind of take over for a little bit, as he's just like, "I'll be down in the hold if anybody needs me for anything. I need a break." As Gil will start going down towards the lower levels, kind of passing Skadi, kind of, and gives you kind of that half grin in passing, just kind of like, how about that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Scotty's going to shake her head no. She's feeling very on mute. Okay, I can't speak. Ominous about the whole situation.
Gil's amused at least. Captain will be back up at the wheel.
Yay, Sky the Sparkles! Woo!
Scotty
What'd you
Sparkles.
She
Woo!
reflects like snow.
Oh, so sorry. Sky's reflective. Woo!
It's a kind of sparkle.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not like the Volturi are going to be coming for you in any moment, but it's still noticeable. So, the general attitude of the ship is good now. The morale has been immediately lifted, and though the crew is exhausted from their shifts because they've been working nonstop to keep themselves from going aground, there is a renewed vigor about the crew. Um, you still have a day, maybe a day and a half of travel. After basically after Nicole will kind of uh, take stock of where you're at. It takes a good couple of hours to kind of gather where you guys have landed, or where along the coastline you are, anyway. Is there anything you're doing now in the last bits here?
So Scotty's gonna go find Roro.
Right.
Food.
Scotty, you sparkled.
Rolls eyes.
There's a lot on your mind, I presume? Or is the light just overwhelming?
Little of both. I was wondering, what are your plans when we get back?
I assume whatever they tell me to do. Nothing in particular at this moment.
How set are you on staying with the cause that we've joined?
Burr was gonna eye her a little bit suspiciously. Is this a trick question? Someone put you up to this? Is Captain Switcher in on this?
No. She's gonna look really confused.
Oh. What was the question again?
Look, there's something I need to do, and you've proven to be a worthy traveling partner.
Is it because you like my singing?
No.
Oh. Shut up, Queen. You're not helping.
I haven't figured it all out, but once I do leave, you're welcome to join me.
You're gonna leave the class?
Yes.
Where are you going?
That's part of what I haven't figured out yet.
Well, I don't really know how to take that. But I think I'm very eager to leave as well. I'll go wherever you go. Until further paths do cross. Further paths do cross, that is.
That's all I could ask of. I don't expect you to dedicate what time you have following me around.
Well, now that you sparkle, I'll definitely follow you.
Blares.
Wink, wink.
Okay, Scotty's had enough of the elf.
And Roro goes.
Wow. Jeez.
Who said anything Scotty did anything? Roro's just gonna go now. Y'all made Roro suicide.
Well, good thing they put a rope around his ankles for just such an occasion.
Just let him gargle for a little while.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Just
Bubble. Okay, pull him up.
we'll give him a 5 count, then pull him up.
Like Gil can breathe underwater.
I'm sorry, there was a buzzing there. What?
And not like Gil who can breathe underwater.
That's not been proven.
His fish face proves plenty to me. I'm so glad he's in here.
Look, just because he leaps from the water like a salmon doesn't mean anything, okay?
What a pretty salmon.
Pretty is not the word he would use to describe himself.
I would.
Oh, good
Anyway,
for you.
I'm currently following Scotty's ass now. I mean, Scotty.
You might have had it right the first time, I don't know.
Not yet, depending.
Not yet? Okay, give it time. So, you... The day passes without further event,
You
though...
broke up.
Oh, okay. The day passes without any further excitement, though again the levels the levels of excitement do pick up when the sun starts setting again that night. Because again, another first. You start seeing the little pin points of light start dotting the sky. And all three of the moons hang very large and brightly in the night sky as they rise. The night is very, very bright, and no time is really lost in the sailing. Um, Give us perception checks again.
Do you like making fun of me?
I mean, I do, but I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Wait, did I do the wrong one again?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Jeez, killed that one.
Wow, I
Yeah,
actually
you
know
did.
what the button.
So at one point, because once this happened, the captain called you back up on the deck too, from whatever your tasks were at the moment, just to kind of see this kind of completion, this cycle of your new day. Yes, buzz, buzz. Uh, you just the I don't know. There's something oddly peaceful, something energizing about just the atmosphere here. Kind of a sense of I don't know, like the world has picked up after, or starting to wake up again after this long, indeterminate period. Uh, Roro, you've for whatever reason the black moon is just kind of like kind of fixes your attention for a little while. This kind of this ultraviolet, not, it's kind of like this ultraviolet, like deep purple, like this black light color is this moon. It was called Midis.
Midden.
Midis, Midis, and it just kind of transfixes you for a little while. You seem to remember that this was kind of the moon of passing, and a, back in your studies and whatnot, and just like it was kind of like that. It was kind of an omen of it seemed it was like the guardian that looked over the spirits of those who had passed, almost. Some people attribute it to darker intent. Others just simply, one point in the pendulum swing between life and death. And I don't know, it just kind of seems to kind of catch your attention for a little while. Uh, you do notice that for whatever reason, Skadi had kind of zoned out, staring, kind of as you had, but at a different point in the sky. Whereas Skadi, you kind of your attention is focused on this red moon that is this kind of this deep, glowing, peacefully glowing red orb in the sky. You do remember that this one was called Tanis, and it's just kind of hovering there, almost like you were looking around and seeing the new spots in the sky, what looked to be constellations. That were they different? Were they the same ones that you remembered? You never quite studied astronomy or paid much heed to it, but just on that is your eyes kind of get fixed on this red orb, and for the longest moment you stand there transfixed by it, as almost within it the very clear shapes of this craggy surface almost seem to waver, almost dance like. And just something about it just holding your attention until you, after a couple long minutes, put your finger on it, and there's within it is almost dancing, almost like firelight. And you could almost swear that you see.
Roro's
No, that would be the white moon probably, because you're so damn pale.
wow. Cool, but
Yeah. You see what almost looks to be a thin trail of this, I don't know, a far off light, or maybe it's light from the moon being drawn off to some place in the horizon. Can't quite tell. The fact with this new glow here, and your brain still hasn't quite adjusted to the fact that there's a day-night cycle again, maybe, but it almost looks like there was an energy being drawn off it, or maybe even towards it. But part of you thinks there might even be like a little spotlight being shown down from the moon.
So yeah, Scotty's gonna be super curious about that, and seeing as she only knows of one person to ask, she'll probably go find Gil.
no.
Gil is up near the wheel where Captain Silva has kind of taken over a night shift for, or at least taken over for a little while. Gil, for once, is looking very relaxed and kind of, arms leaned up against there, just kind of taking in the sights. There is an undeniable, just a naked smile on his face. No sarcasm. There's almost a softness there, or a reverence, as he's kind of seeing the stars light up into the sky.
So now Roro should have talked to him.
He seems to be in a good mood right now.
Oh, wow. Let me ruin that.
Enjoying the stars.
Yeah, It's been too long.
Yeah, long enough that it looks almost odd.
Oh, it's different.
So it is different, is it?
Yeah, I don't. I can I can point out a couple of them, but they're not. The arrangement's different.
Like Injustice Constellations?
Uh, I mean, I'm. All right, look over this way, and he points off towards the back of the boat. All right, well, this one over here, this one's a shield bearer. You can see where these 7 points here kind of make what look to be kind of a rough shield looking shape there. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that is actually supposed to be off to this side here, and he kind of he ends up pointing off to this side of the boat. It's like that is supposed to be over here, based on where the sun's going and the moon. So that's different, but and it's in a different spot. I mean, the North Star's thankfully still in the same spot. He'll point out to the kind of off up here to a very prominent bright star. Like, so I'm glad that one's still there. That's the one we need. It's the one we need most anyway. But all these things. I'm still trying to find it. Let me have him do something here. Yeah, okay. So he scans the horizon and all right, well this is interesting. So that's where the north point is. And over here off the front of the ship, if you take a look real high up, that ought to amuse you. And your eye line follows where Gil directs you, and there is a point of what looks to be 13 or so bright stars, and it looks like an image of it brings to mind an image of a dragon with wings unfurled for this constellation.
Scotty's going to frown. I never knew there was a dragon in the stars.
Yeah, the gods kind of put their marks all over the place. That one, well, that's one of the guardians of the sea. Well, guardians. He's one of the masters of the sea, I suppose. Constellation belongs to Zular. He's that one's a dragon god, and well, once Valdash wasn't a part of things, he kind of took over for the seas. And you will take note that this constellation is probably gets quite a bit brighter as the moon is kind of right now kind of rising below it at the moment. So there will be a point sometime in the night where this moon will overshadow this dragon constellation on its trip through the sky.
So the constellations are weird, but what about the moons?
Well, the moons look a bit closer, but then again, I couldn't even tell you what that would stand to mean. But they're there. I mean, they look bigger, but they look the same to me as they've always looked. It's usually a good sign when all three of them are lit up like that. It's not very often the three of them are full together.
Why is that?
Just different spin, different position.
The
I
red
can't.
one
Yeah,
the red one looks particularly fire-like to me.
it is looking pretty damn bright. Wait, fiery?
What?
Wait, what do you mean fiery? Like, hmm. You thinking this might have something to do with what's going on with
I'm
you?
I'm not sure. I've never really taken much note of yours, but isn't it odd that it looks like firelight to me? And it's almost as if it's pointing me in a direction.
Well, if I were more skeptical, man, I'd say you're probably seeing what you want to see. But
And that's exactly what I'm afraid of.
you're also talking to someone who's got a bit in the way of faith here. it could be a sign for you. I'm certainly not going to say it's not out of hand. What do you think?
I think, despite not knowing anything about traveling by watching the moons and the stars, that the only lead I have to something I really want.
Hmm. So you're going to be chasing the sun, are you?
Yeah, I suppose I am.
Well, that's. I mean, I can't say that it doesn't. Well, there's a part of me that's going to be sad to see you head off. You're definitely a strong lady.
Scotty's gonna be so flushed at the moment.
You'd make the women in the grass proud, I'll tell you that much.
Well, with your skills and knowledge, it'd be stupid not to ask you if you'd be interested in following me.
You hate Roro or something? Like, that's really
Roro's going to follow me. Let's see who else I can rope in here.
nice.
I mean, you put an interesting thought in my head. I'm not going to lie about that.
An interesting thought of traveling?
The seas are open now. I've been landlocked forever. What feels like forever.
So you're itching to move as well, then.
Yeah, I mean, we got this fight ahead of us, and that's important. But if this isn't just some cosmic joke, I mean, we got the sun back, we got the stars back. The oceans are open again. And I want to I want to keep my family safe. But they do all right. I don't know, it's a little hard to just say, yeah, sure, I'll up and leave the fight, but I'll have to give it some thought. I'm not going to say no because, well, I mean, you're going to need someone to get you there because I'm pretty sure it's not on land based on what you were saying about your vision.
Scotty's going to nod. Um, well, I don't expect an answer anytime soon. I understand that this is quite the change of plan for you. It'd be a serious decision.
Yeah, a lot of things have changed. At the very least, I'll think about it. I'll talk to Tallow, see what he has to say about the whole thing. He's got a group going on there. May or may not need me, I don't know. I've been stuck at the mouth of a river talking to a moon elf, so it's not like I was ever doing anything important.
So that's why he just likes elves, is it? I can nod.
All you
Okay.
valley folk think you're so special.
Oh, child.
So Scotty's going to reach out and touch Gil's arm. Um, uh, well, whether you choose to come with me or not, I've appreciated your guidance during this.
That's his arm up an accident.
What's that? What were you saying, Roro?
Cut it off by accident.
Oh, jeez.
It was
Wait, cuts it off by accident. What are you insinuating that Gil's got sharp skin? Is that what you're?
No, the Scott used sharp nails.
Oh,
She knows when not to use them.
So does she? Pop's eyeball.
they made her
Guys.
mad. I'll just kind of reach over and kind of just for a moment kind of put his hand over yours. Just I know what it's like to be kind of lost and confused in the dark. In more than just the literal sense. What kind of man would I be if I just let you wander off like that? At least you got some kind of direction now. And worst case, I hope it leads you to something good. Who knows? Maybe I'll be there to see what happens to you.
Um, so blushed, Scotty nods at him. She has no words right now.
He'll just kind of. He's still got that. He's still kind of got that. That smile on his face. He just kind of looks back out to the stars, at the starscape, kind of going out. Just kind of lapses into kind of a companionable silence.
Wait, Gil smiles?
Yeah, he does. Apparently.
Oh.
And then there's Roro.
No. Uh-huh.
Anything you're up to this evening?
Well, I've sang a couple songs. Then yelled at.
To be fair, again, the crew on in general has no major problem with you. They once you slip into row your boat, they will, however, kind of dissuade you from that, and you have been slowly but surely being taught Haldirai, you know, folk songs, songs about the sea. You are learning new songs, and they're impressed with your ability to pick up pitch notes. I mean, you're a bard. This is part of what you do. But you're being taught songs about the sea to add to your repertoire.
Technically, my song was about water. I do
Yes,
rowing. Boat.
yes, but these ones are less annoying.
So is Roro joining the ship's choir?
Robo's leading the ship's choir. I'm gonna take us to stage, darling.
Oh my. Oh my.
Other than that, no, he's not doing anything. He's staying on that end of the boat.
Okay. Well, the crew, Gil, Nicole, they go about their duties, and the night passes. You rest. There's kind of that period where you both kind of come to awareness where it's still dark, and there's that kind of that almost irrational fear that that's still stretching dark. But surely enough, again, the sun comes up.
Good job, son. Daddy knew you could do
The sun feels so proud of itself.
it.
I don't even know anymore. So you carry on your duties. It's probably a couple hours past before Nicole is getting you into what is essentially a place where you're going to be throwing down anchor, and they start getting the boats, the shore boats, ready to start taking supplies off as you've reached a beach to start bringing things towards Tallow's camp again. And Gil's little rowboat has been untethered, and you guys are set to board the. You guys set on it and head to shore. It's
Yay, land!
yeah, you guys reach land.
I am never getting on a freaking boat again.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
Scotty actually agrees, though. She's so tired of boats. She really does not care for them.
Okay. Not a little bit, please.
Oh no, I have something she could say to Gil.
Oh well, there's something shocking and new.
That's curious.
Sorry I thought about stealing your boat.
Wait, what? Huh. Okay, we'll do another round of perceptions for everybody.
I'm either a hit or miss. Like honestly, there's no in between.
You did good before.
You did do good before.
Oh look, I did a good one.
Hey, you got a decent one. That's not bad. I mean, rolling a 12 on the dice is not bad. So yeah, as you're kind of pulling up to shore, you get a few feet into the waves. Nicole will jump off into the surf and start pulling the boat up onto the shore, onto the beach line. As Scotty, you see up in the distance, kind of what looks to be a plume of smoke. Looks a little big to be a campfire, or in any. It's kind of that darker shade. And as you guys are pulling up from from up on the cliff line, as the trees are breaking, you see a figure coming out from the trees, and standing on that line right where the cliff kind of breaks down into the sand, is this figure in a kind of a medium toned blue cloak, just kind of waving to you, and you hear what sounds to be like a low whistle, or almost like the trilling of birds, kind of like a bird call, as this figure is whistling towards you and slides down the cliff face. The slides across the loose rocks and kind of comes out to you. Yeah, your passives are okay. The figure is familiar looking to you, though you don't. But kind of in that distant way. you've seen this figure around Tallow's camp a couple of times, but never directly engaged with them. So the boat's pulled up here, where you have the two of you kind of come up there, and this figure, who, as they get closer, is a slim and delicate face, angular, female, and by the protrusions and the way that the hood drawn up, is not, you would guess to be elven. Roro, you identified this as one of the Arctic elves that populates the region.
Roro knows. What do you know?
Yes, Roro does know, because you've grown up around them a lot of your life. And
Am I to be there or like
what's that?
doodle?
What?
Weary. Am I to be like weary of that? I don't actually know anything about this.
Not immediately, because well, elves are probably the predominant race in the valley. So it's a very common sight to see elven people. The Arctic elves being the Arctic, or the snow elves, are probably the most predominant of them. So it could literally mean anything. But you do recognize the fact that that this particular one had been drifting around Tallow's camp, but you never had kind of engaged with them before.
Okay.
And it's kind of there's definitely a look of urgency on her face as she says something out. She says something that no one here kind of understands. Before she's just like, kind of gives a sigh and just looks over to Gil, and kind of makes a couple of pantomiming motions with her hands, and points over in the direction where Skadi had. Where Skadi, you saw that plume of smoke going. And just Gil, who is just kind of securing the boat up, and there's like, no, what, Syl, what is, what? Calm down. There's that breath from the elven woman who's just kind of like pauses for a moment. The hands just kind of making, like she wants to say something and is trying to gather her thoughts, but then just kind of makes this motion with her fingers, kind of waggling. Just like, Gil takes a moment. He's like, a fire? What? And she just kind of makes this urgent motion to follow along and starts heading towards the incline and into the forest. Gil's just, well, someone's got her in a state. Better check it out. Nicole will nod and start heading off. What was that?
And for once, it's not me.
Yeah. As they start following along after after the elven woman and into the tree line. This seems to be going to a beeline to where Skadi saw that that plume of smoke. And we're going to have people do a round of, we'll say, stealth checks. Yeah, that's kind of a. Scotty's just what? Stealth?
No, what's this?
Yeah.
Can't help that she's a clumsy bookworm.
Is my roll actually good?
It looks like nobody did particularly good on that one except for Gil.
Oh well, poor Gil.
Gil's fucking ninja apparently. Everybody else is kind of just rushing, but no one hears Gil's footsteps or pays attention because everybody else is making that much noise. Apparently.
Shut the hell up, everyone.
It's like, oh god.
We're all gonna die because of these people.
You guys are trucking along at a pretty good pace. The elven woman who had briefly been addressed as Syl seems to know right where she's going. There's no direct path, or there's no like well laid path here, but it is nonetheless she's very sure of her movements, and this will bring you to breaking through the tree line. You start to see the flickers of flames, and you kind of approach Tallow's camp, and it is engulfed in flames. There are several of the huts actively burning. And yeah, you see a swarm of soldiers just pervading the area.
We leave for 5 minutes. This is what happened.
Not that you're aware so much of time, but yeah, you've probably been gone about the better part of 2 weeks.
Oh, my God. 5 minutes, 2 weeks, potato, potato.
Whatever. It's like a week and a half, 2 weeks you've been gone. As you'll start to be able to tell time. But there are soldiers about. You can see that, and it just feels like, fuck. So he kind of ducks down as he's kind of scooting about here. Whereas he's actually got a stealth score. Let's see if this works. There we go. So what we're going to go into we're going to go into tactical mode here for a sec. Let you guys use your reactions. So go ahead and give me your initiatives to determine what everyone's doing. Skadi is in processing mode here.
Scotty will always roll the lowest of the group. It's just how life is for her.
You know, that's not always such a terrible thing.
True, I guess.
And come on, that's why I don't have those always right so close to there. Right? Right.
Sure.
Thank you for agreeing with me. As well you should.
We usually do.
I don't know if that's gonna say. Okay, and then we've got objects and tokens here. You guys. Yes, I know. I'm putting them. I'm putting them in here. And they've got. What was. Yeah, and 11. There.
Who is X'd out all the way down there?
There is a figure lying on the ground at the water line. You
Not
don't.
really of importance.
Is no one that you can't quite see. There's a lot of things in the way.
Yeah.
So,
Who rolled a 6?
who rolled a 6?
The
Yeah.
same person is X'd out on the ground over there. Yeah, I don't think I don't know this.
Oh, I can't see that part.
When trying to be sneaky.
Trying to be sneaky, nothing. If we were really being sneaky, well, I am being really sneaky. I don't think you can see the sneaky things that I've done. So there you go. So we have Nicole just. What is it we're doing now? We're gonna find who we can here. As we have people kind of in motion. Just, I think these people need to get the hell out of our camp.
Girl, preach. I meant Gil, not girl. Oh, stupid autocorrect.
Yeah, autocorrect, sure. As Gil is kind of moving around. And soldiers. We're just gonna have a little bit of a checky check here. Yeah. Unfortunately, they see most of you. as you hear shouts, "We found a group of them!" As they picked up from what is essentially a position of searching through the area to kind of an active stance of looking to engage. Bringing it to Roro's turn.
Oh god. What do we do? 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 Wait, how far can I move?
You use your action, you 60 using the action, and if you don't, you can move 30. Each square is.
My screen keeps kind of glitching in whenever I click on.
Okay. So you make a move over there.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to do for right now.
Nothing more?
No.
Okay. Just as a thing, they do see you.
Lucky them, I guess. I don't know.
I'm just saying if you're trying to go for stealth, that is not a thing that's happening right now.
No, I've already flown that out of the water. We're good.
Yeah, they did notice you. But, that was just in case you were worried about that.
Nope, we're good.
Okay. All right. That's a thing that's happening there. Syl is Oh, I probably should put myself on the appropriate level there. Or sorry, the appropriate layer. Because
Yeah, I learned about that last night. Yay!
what's that?
I learned about that last night.
Yeah,
I was 60 years on here.
the GM layer is your friend.
It
Well, is my friend currently.
is.
Still is. Got a 30 movement. All right. Gonna circle over here, and you see as she moves, she kind of flips her cloak up and pulls from her back a staff where she seems to pull a cord from and attach to both sides. She ends up pulling out and quickly stringing what looks to be a longbow, and takes fire at this soldier here. And manages to connect for 10 damage. Holy shit.
Damn, can she stay with us?
Okay, we have individual here who is currently no longer... Well, is currently not doing anything at the moment. Skadi.
Okay, so originally her armor class is 10, right?
Yes. To be fair, if you wanted to, when you were making landfall, I will allow you to have preemptively cast your mage armor onto yourself. If you want to just tick off your first level spell.
Yeah.
So yeah, your armor will be 13. Because you've been attacked enough in traveling the land here that you're just like, oh, we're going back on the land. Okay. Covered for 8 hours. So
Glad she finally got this hint. Love you.
if you had something like that, I would have allowed that as well.
She also learned from the last attack that she's going to stay with the group but behind them.
Or at least kind of in the middle of the pack.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
I read a thing. Sorry.
You want to do a thing? What's the thing you want to do?
I remembered that I have a really good system that I should use. Can I use Chill Touch to get this guy without worrying about Chill?
Well, it's a spell. It's basically a ranged touch attack. You're creating a spectral hand at 120 feet. So yeah.
Okay. I'm doing that.
Okay. Well, you try and reach out and tap him on the forehead, but it's kind of ducks out of the way of this spectral hand.
Perfect.
But you did a thing. You done a thing though.
Yeah, no, shows them what you can do. I feel.
Oh jeez. You were just trying to get yourself smacked around, aren't you?
Oh please, when she dies, I'll be there.
Thin ice, boy. Thin ice.
That was not Roro, that was me.
It better have been. I think you're in trouble either way, to be honest. Alright, so Nicole will go out and take his slash at one of the soldiers here. Slash with his warfork, because that's what you do. Alright, he will hit him for 6 piercing damage. Nicole has little idea of why these guys are here, but oh, we're gonna get them? Okay. It's Gil's turn to go. He's going to engage with this guy here. Go up and say hi and thrust a spear in this guy's personal space.
Oh,
Hits once, and well, he definitely has that bonus attack that he will use. No, he'll only hit once. Ooh. For 7 points of damage. Gil is not exactly thrilled with how things are proceeding at the very moment. The soldiers will begin to advance. 15, 20,
oh yay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And this is the problem when you have everything on one side of a map. Alrighty. So we're gonna take care of first things first. Yeah, he's no reason for him not to go right there. So we've got 3 melee attacks being handed out here. 2 against Gil, 1 against Syl. So we'll do the attack against the elf first. And does that? That does not hit. And 2 against Gil, which will have advantage. 1 of which will hit for 6 damage. Oh, you sons of bitches. And it looks like Gil is going to get shot at once, and so is Syl with an arrow from the back ranks. Syl's definitely doesn't hit, and neither does the one against Gil. Roro.
Yay. So this one right here. Go with my short bow.
Just the flickering firelight right off the side of your vision just kind of messes with your aim, and it fires off into the distance. Sticks into one of the tents.
Yeah. Is it the pretty tent that I stayed in, the only one that's like not on fire, pretty much?
Yeah, you shot the tent that you were staying in.
Oh crap! Yeah, I was thinking. Okay, I don't think
Oddly enough, the two tents that you and Skadi were staying in aren't the ones on fire right now.
It's because I had blessed the area with myself.
If that's what you want to think, sure.
Sure, yeah, go ahead. I don't think there's really anything else I could do because I'm not going to heal anyone right now.
All right, you do have your bonus action.
Oh, I can move that way, huh?
You have a movement and you have a bonus action. I believe your bonus actions include your inspiration currently, because unless you want to throw out a healing word, but nobody's been hurt all that bad.
Kind of a question would right here be like advantage on this guy?
You would have to be right here. You'd have to form the conga line of death.
Would it be smart to move there right now, or should I wait till my actual next turn to move there? Because
Well, you wouldn't be able to attack at the moment there, but if you did that, Gil would get advantage on attacking that target.
okay, then I will just move there now, and then I will end my turn.
All righty then. Oh my god, come on, hurry up now. Yeah, we will put that there. We'll put that there. Alright, after this, I've got some nice little background stuff to take care of. Syl. It's her turn now. As there is now a guy in her face. You see her reach up with her longbow, and actually strike out with the bow itself. That seems to be trailing with this faint whitish green energy and Skadi, you're the one who sees this as the bow kind of takes on this look that it seems to be this the bow itself seems to be this string of tree roots, almost like kind of spiraled along themselves, and you could almost see the faintest like indentures of leaves kind of form as she's striking out with this weapon, or with this actual longbow. As holy shit, she clobbers the fuck out of this guy right in like slams this bow on the collarbone of this guy, and he just kind of lurches down to the side of it here for 12 damage. Jeez.
Can we keep her?
So yeah, there seems to be an unusual amount of force for what is a very thin, pliable rod. You know, I mean, you're no archer, but a bow probably shouldn't be able to whack that hard. Unconscious. That brings it to you, Skadi.
Okay, so kind of sides. And okay, I'm pretty sure I can do this without hurting Phil, but I'm always so uncertain. I want to firebolt, and it looks like that should be fine.
Yes, basically, if it's a single target and you're not firing directly at them, you like if you were trying to hit the lower one, or the one that Roro's right next to, you might have a problem. But you have a clear line of attack on the one that's next to Syl.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because fire seems like a really spreadable thing to me.
It is a really spreadable thing. Just don't roll a 1.
Oh.
Why not to?
Well, that's certainly not a 1.
Hot damn, gotta go.
Hot damn.
Across
Indeed.
The camp.
Using her new inspiration. The inspiration of the whole fire thing.
Yeah. Like who? Huh? So, all right. What ends up happening here is you're going in well the same kind of general moment as this guy with a sword and shield kind of comes charging up and it's getting in her face. She whacks him across the collarbone. He takes a lurch where you see your opening and thrust out your fingertips as the flames kind of gathered along the fingertip, spiral in to a point and burst out in a jet, smacking him right in that gap of where that visor is, sending him reeling backwards, and you see the smoke kind of emanate from underneath from the visor. Bitch is dead.
Oh.
You kind of went into bullet time there, saw the opening. There is definitely the smell of cooking flesh from underneath that hood, as the rim around that faceplate where that visor slits is glowing red and hot.
Why do we even try to eat around you? Ugh.
I don't know. Depends on if you like the cooked flesh of sapient species. Could be appetizing.
Oh, yes. It's the favorite. What do you know?
So you still have your movement bonus and everything else, Skadi?
I'm just gonna take one step closer. I'm super hesitant about breaking away from anybody.
Well, I mean, you're moving towards another teammate, so
Yeah.
at least
the
you're not
thing is-
alone.
Probably would want her to get surrounded first, so she's still gonna stay back.
Oh my god.
Self-preservation.
She died 3 times.
I mean, it's not a lie. Nicole will stab this guy with his spear again. Get warforked. As it's now Gil's turn, seeing that that Roro is providing cover, he's gonna go ahead and take advantage of that. Why not? Far be it for Gil to leave a gift unclaimed.
You're damn welcome. You can put me in a boat later.
Put you in a boat later?
Bow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like.
Well, that was certainly a statement you just made. Looks like we had 27 points of damage altogether as... Oh, let's just see if we can't finish that off. He'll use his flurry to make an additional attack. And because you were providing your cover there, you got up in that soldier's face and distracted him to the point where Gil was able to kind of give you a bit of a nod before hooking his spear around, catching this guy by the throat and kind of in a martial twirl with this weapon, kind of hits at all the really bad points for this guy.
Well,
Good job, teamwork.
He was distracted by your beauty.
Roro's going to blow him a kiss.
There's a slight shake of Gil's head as it seems like he might have caught you doing something out of the corner of his eye, but he doesn't say anything directly.
Well, if he saw it directly, he would have liked it too much, so that's probably for the better.
Yeah, that's certainly some words right there. And you are actually up here. Let's get you over here because you needed to be moving. Okay, we got that. we don't have people with clear shots, but we do have some action going on here. Yeah, it looks like Sill's getting a little ganged up on. Nicole, Gil, Sill will have 2 strikes plus 1 bow. And Roro's getting an attack as well. So we will start. We'll go Nicole, Gil, Roro, Sill. Alright, that one's not going to hit. Nicole, Gil's getting attacked. He will miss. Roro, you're being struck at. Yeah, that'll definitely hit you. Cutting words could lessen the damage if you chose.
Not right now.
Okay, so that'll be 10 slashing damage to you. Looks like Sill gets hit twice there for 13 points of damage and takes a longbow. Yeah, 14. She'll suffer 20 points of damage from strikes as she's getting herself surrounded. She looks pretty injured by that. Roro.
Okay, so attacking this guy, he has advantage on me, right?
Neither of you have advantage on each other.
Oh, okay. Then I think I'm just gonna try longswording him.
Which you do with great accuracy.
Yeah.
You nab him for 11 points. You slash him nicely across the sternum, right where the armor plate's kind of separated as he's bending around.
Damn, child.
Yeah, you got a nice hit on him. You hurt him for more than he hurt you, so.
And then I am going to use a bonus action of healing words for Sill.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it. Guessing you're doing it at level 1.
Yeah.
Alright. The shouted word, you grant her 6 hit points. Still not bad.
Did you actually want me to shout a word?
Huh?
Do you actually want me to shout a word?
I mean, you are a bard, but it's up to you.
Like, I don't actually know you, but here you go.
Fair enough.
The nicest Roro has ever been.
Just random person. Apparently he's trying to make good impressions now. I don't know.
He's cute. What can I say?
Okay. So, Roro, out of the kind of you took a swipe at this guy, took a shouted a word over to the north towards Sill, and when your attention comes back to you, you see from behind them these couple of silvery flashes that yeah.
I think you lost me.
Yeah, it kind of broke up a little bit, and my train of thought kind of went away. But no, you see these kind of flashes of light in the air that just kind of blink, and you don't quite know what came about for them.
Oh.
And of course, my turn order is in. Geez, okay, well, that's not going to do anything there. That one, however, will. That's +4. For another 10 points of damage. Holy crap.
Did I do some points of damage?
No, you didn't do that damage.
I still don't fully understand where we are.
Well, as you turned your attention back to your opponent, the guy you were squaring off with, you saw a couple of like arcing flashes in the air behind him, and a spray of blood.
I see.
Kind of. This guy was hit in the back. Give me a perception check real quick.
Okay.
Decent enough. You see kind of from the heat trails behind you, just kind of that wavering, you swear you see kind of like the faintest shimmer of something behind your opponent.
Huh.
And you see a couple of flecks of red kind of hovering suspiciously in the air.
This is interesting.
Bringing it to Sill's turn. What do we got for... That's not... Yeah. What does this... What's the damage on that? Come on. Yeah. As she will take... No, she won't be taking a step back. That would put her into danger again. You hear more... words come out of her mouth that make no sense to you. And why is that not part of... Oh, some of these spells, man. Freaking hell. Why do they not? 3D. Yeah. Spell attack is melee. Alright, let's hope that actually works. And indeed it does. As there is a couple of words spoken by her in a language you can't understand, as she draws her hand back towards the burning tent, curls her fingers, and almost seems to draw a line of that flame into her palm before striking out against the target to the north of her. Striking the man for 13 damage, and yeah, we'll take that, and she'll step back towards you. Still out. Skadi, it is now your turn.
Can you help me figure out if I can do shatter? Like, I want to say 4 and be able to get
What is the dimensions of shatter?
It's 10
10 feet.
radius.
10-foot
10
radius.
foot radius. Yeah.
Okay. essentially, if you put it here, like you can angle it to where you can hit the two of them and not any ally.
Okay. Okay. I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah, basically you're starting to spell like right here. Oh my. Okay, that's a nice roll you got right there.
Round of applause, round of applause. Over the
Yeah,
Captain
that was
Scotty.
Constitution save on their part. Well, one of them fails.
Yeah.
So this one here who's a little far off, he's the one who saved. So the one that's directly in your line of sight is the one that seemed to have resisted some of the damage. However, fuck that other guy. Yeah, as this cacophonous burst of energy goes off. Also, fuck Roro's tent.
Oh.
As that explosion of energy just kind of booms out, and you see a figure that was also behind. There was a figure apparently behind the tent. As you can now see, is that canvas had wrapped around him as it went off, and I actually need to do a save for him too, which he also fails.
Reverend's crying internally. He doesn't even know yet.
So this guy takes 20 damage and is on the ground, wrapped up underneath the blasted apart, hides and cloths that made up this tent. So he is actually prone. So, well, he's grappled by the tent. As Scotty says, "Fuck this shit." Good job.
Well, I guess that Rebel just bunked with you tonight then. This is fine. This is fine.
Nicole is continuing his assaults on this guy down here. Dear God, no, that doesn't work out. Who gets a strike out at him and hits Nicole for 7 points of damage. And yeah, he's gonna use his action surge and strike again. See if he can. Nope. He's not having such a great time with this guy. So that was so Nicole's turn ends with a net loss of 7 hit points to himself. That's delightful.
Sounds like anybody Scotty goes up against.
Yeah.
They just look into your black eyes. I think it towered by Revo's beautiful tent.
Scotty's apparently is not up for getting knocked down today. So Gil's got one target here, and he's gonna go for this fresh guy. Yeah, and yeah, doesn't want to be messing around. He'll use another key point to just start wailing the hell out of this guy. This is 19 plus 9 is just 28. Yeah, no, he just says fuck this guy, apparently. Fuck him. He just takes him down and then just in another flurry of motion just sets this guy lays him completely out.
So are Gil and Scotty in competition on who they can lay out most?
Hey, you each got 2 right now.
And these guys just keep coming.
They are. Okay, so we've got And we'll start with a strength check from the guy who's entangled. Yeah, no, he doesn't even know what the fuck is going on. The guy is still on the ground, covered in tents and hides, and is trying frantically to get out from under it.
He misses the whole fight as he fights this tent.
Oh god, yeah, he was coming around with a bow. He's like, okay, I'm gonna sneak up on him. I got this group's number. I got it. This is gonna be great. 2 more days, then I'm on shore leave, and yeah, no,
Gets eaten by a tent.
he gets eaten by a tent. I get the feeling that this is gonna be the only guy at the end of the melee, and he's just gonna be like, oh.
Like, well, crap.
It's like, wow, I should have been wearing my brown pants today. Okay, so we've got Nicole, Roro, 2 on Syl plus an arrow at her. So Nicole will take 11. Roro will be missed. We got 18 damage onto Syl. And another, yeah, so Syl will end up taking 20 points of damage. Holy shit. From sword strikes and arrows. She is, oh my god, she is barely standing. It's interesting because Skadi is right next to her going, oh, so this is how it looks.
Oh, that is so sad.
So we got, all right, good. No, okay. So she was holding a tongue of flame in her hand, but as she's getting hammered, that flame that she was holding sputters out. And what was that? What was? Yeah, okay. That was still 11 points of damage to that he took. All right, Roro.
So, first thing I'm going to do is this guy. I'm good.
Might not be your type. Unless if people that are trying to murder you is your type.
I mean, could be. I look at faces, not motives.
It's probably a good thing. Okay, well.
Yeah.
You do hit.
Oh.
And that is a crit for 6, 7, 8 damage. As this guy is being threatened by something.
Something gorgeous.
Other than yourself.
Thank you.
So that is your action. So you take a slash at him.
I'm going to send Healing Words level 2 towards Syl,
who is still breathing heavily, but is not at 1 fucking hit point.
I guess we found our new Skadi in the group. Congratulations, she needs a new one.
More glass cannons here.
That's okay, we'll be friends.
You've got something to talk about anyway. Yeah, it sucks getting knocked out every fight, huh? Nods. All right. Anything else out of Roro?
No. I mean, should I send her some Bardic inspiration as well?
Well, you've already used your bonus action.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. No.
But do remember your cutting words can be used to lower attack rolls or damage rolls within, I think it was 30 or 60 feet.
I always forget I can do that For other people.
Yeah, for other people. Okay, yeah. We are going to definitely do that here. So, Roro, we're going to have you make a perception check real quick here.
I've been making a lot of those.
You have. Situational awareness is good. 16. Okay. You get the sensation that there's you know that that feeling where it feels like there's something behind you.
Honey, that's my entire life.
Yeah, well, you've got that feeling.
Wow. I do not feel safe. Oh god, is it Captain Switcher?
Yeah, he's found you.
I found you.
he's definitely found you finally. Oh god, that doesn't work. All right. All right. Having to adjust for light here. No, but you know, you get that presence as you kind of hear and see footprints kind of go behind you as your situational awareness, as you see footprints and you feel that presence behind you. You take a look and there is a low murmur that comes from open air, and let's see if any of that actually takes hold first. We need to... That'll be done at a higher level, so we need to do that. And the DC is Wisdom, I believe? It is, in fact, Wisdom. Alright, the two Doreen soldiers directly in melee with Syl need to make Wisdom saves. One of them does, one of them does not. And yeah, that's the stronger one stops in his tracks. Skadi, you see this. And we will... As Roro, you're looking over and you see kind of shimmer and fade into sight. First thing you notice is this cloak, this shawl almost, that has a sprinkling of silver crescents on it. A pulled up mess of black hair with silver streaks run through it, and this pale gray skin holding a pair of large scimitars, or not large scimitars, but holding a pair of scimitars in hand.
OMG.
Fades into view.
I knew it! That was definitely me, not Roro.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Wisdom save to not squeal? What?
Fails. Critical fail.
Critical failure. Yeah, it happens. So it's Syl's turn. This is going in not at all a way that Syl would like. So, on. What is the... Why... And here I thought this was going to be easy and already pumped out. I hate having to just jump into a book. Well, if I put well, that's the problem with auto-populated information. It's not formatted the way that I would want it to be formatted.
Clearly, we need to change things then.
Yeah, clearly. If only we had some badass programmer who would just build us a better Roll20.
God, I wonder who.
I'm a baby shark.
Daddy Shark. Do.
Well, that's a little troubling, but sure. Okay, so that's that, and now I gotta... Yeah, that will work well enough. So there is a low growl that escapes Sill's lips as there's something perhaps a little alarming that happens. As soon as I can find what I am looking for. Come on. Now put it on. Okay, I guess that'll work. As Sill kind of hunches over, and you see that bluish cloak start going a stark white, and the material of it starts to shift from this thick cloth into what almost looks to be strands of silver fur. As Sill gets onto all fours, and standing in her place is this very large white wolf that starts tearing at the individual that's moving. But does nothing.
You make it sound so cool, and then
As this guy just like, the hell. It gets as this wolf snaps at him, and he just kind of boots boots this wolf in the head, knocking it backwards.
Not today, sweetheart.
Apparently not. Skadi, it is your turn.
Not to be repetitive, but I'm gonna have Shatter go off.
Not to be repetitive, but I'm gonna fuck these guys up.
Yeah. So that should get all 3 of those guys. If it works. I have very little faith in repetitiveness.
Okay, where were you setting it off?
Right here, I believe was my measurement.
Right here. Yeah, fuck all 4 of those guys. In particular, the guy who's trapped. Alright, he's gonna have a disadvantage. Well, no, it's a Constitution save, so it's fine. So, the guy who's wrapped up, he will make his save. And let's see, we got... Yeah, we're gonna go from the top to bottom, so we got 3 more saves coming out. Failure. Definite success. Failure again, alright.
Yay!
So, let's see. So 13, 6 damage to the guy in the tarp. Who's just being pummeled by this screeching, thunderous blast. Doesn't even know what the f is going on here. Yeah, this guy takes the full brunt of 13 damage. The guy who is held in place can't move, but is holding firm. And the other guy, fuck that guy. Yeah, you know what? 13 plus... He'll take 19 damage, because fuck him.
Wow.
Yeah, he suddenly just... He kicked this dog in the head and then had this thing blast off, and he's... Ah!
That's technically how you do animal training in a sense.
Yeah, kind of. So, yeah, you're letting off these explosive blasts of thunder and doing pretty well at it.
Kind of hot.
Anything else out of you?
I don't think moving would be helpful.
Well, you're
Oh,
not
no.
being directly threatened by anything.
Yeah, but I don't think I can get around anybody to move anywhere.
True.
I'm a little stuck.
All right. Well, if that's all you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nicole continues his death struggle with this one soldier. I mean,
just hiding out from the tarp, not knowing what's going on over here.
they're actually just up against the bush and they're just kind of up against the tent. They're just smoking. They're not fighting or anything. They're just like, dude, the fuck's up with you people? Like, just whatever. They're chilling out there. No, it's not going poorly for Nicole. He's got the upper hand on him by numbers. Gil. Yeah. Well, there's a guy here that he can probably help take down. So that's gonna be nice. Let's take a swing here. That'll do it. as this guy just sees all this going on, he's dealing with you, and you know, Gil takes the reverse point of his spear, kind of hooks it nicely right in below his sternum, takes a quick jab, yank inward as you see that spurt of arterial. He hit something deep, and this guy just kind of collapses.
Bye.
As he kind of looks over, just... Oh, this day gets better and better. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 40. And he will step of the wind to circle around and get up on this guy and take his other attacks. This guy who really doesn't look like he's doing too hot, so start spreading those around.
Well.
Well, it takes both his strikes, but he manages to take down the one who just got massively fucked over by that shatter.
He's stealing my kills. This could be against our competition.
I'm sorry. How many have you taken down already?
2.
Oh.
Gil now is at 3 because he took one of mine.
He's at 4.
Never mind, I miscounted.
there was the one that Roro was working on.
See, he even stole Roro's kill.
Yeah.
Everyone steals Roro's kill.
He's a troll.
Gil likes finishing fights. This is just what he does.
Starting them too.
Depends on who you're talking to. All right, death struggle with a tarp. Yeah, no, still not working. He's paralyzed, but he can repeat his save, so I believe that will do it. Yeah. So he missed out on a round, but he is no longer paralyzed. Which means we have one attack onto a wolf with a longbow, and the one Nicole is fighting. So we'll do the bow first, which will hit for only 3, and Nicole takes another 11 damage. Who is looking... Yeah, he's not doing so hot anymore.
And Nicole isn't?
Nicole is not. He's looking pretty hurt. Not that anybody can see him.
Yeah. Not that any of us actually know anything.
Yeah, no, he's just there. And the wolf took 3 points of damage. So I would like another round of perception checks from you folk.
From just me?
From the two of you. Okay. Roro, it's your turn.
Okay, so I have a question
I have answers.
about Jack down here.
About what?
Jack down here. I don't know. Am I going to... Are we actually able to see this person over here?
I mean, you know that there's a figure down there.
Alright.
Yeah, about 90 feet away.
I'm just wondering because clearly he's important because he's in the turn order.
I mean, that's kind of meta pigeon knowledge, but there's a figure down there. Doesn't seem to be moving and is lying on the ground.
That's the problem. Okay, well then, I guess ignoring him. I don't know if I should be ignoring him or not. Or
It's up to you. I mean, there's a figure laying down there.
Clearly, he needs help over here.
You don't know that.
That.
You hear sounds of fighting from that side. That's about what you know.
Gargle, gargle, choke, choke.
Huh? Just clashes of, steel. You don't know what's going on.
How far would I be able to move for this person? Because I can move 60 as the normal.
Well, you have a normal movement speed of 30, so that's what you get, and then you can take your you can take your action to use the dash and move another 30.
Okay, so I can move. Like right here, and then like right there.
Yeah, if you take the dash action, you can move up to there.
I've never done that before. How do you do that?
You just basically you tell me that you're doing it. It's not rolled for. It's basically allowing you to double move.
Right here is 25. I think I'm going to just go on a limb and just... Oh gosh, was it right here?
I mean, you can get right here. Yeah, you can get right there with 60 feet.
Okay. Oh, I was going to mention the hottie. We need to talk a little bit later. Flashy smile. Runs.
Oh hi, dash dash dash.
Oh, honey. What's that?
You can go and make a you can go ahead and make a perception check now, Roro.
Hmm? Oh my god.
There's a dude lying there. Big,
You have what?
a big fur-lined coat. The hood is kind of up over the back of its head. It's just like, yeah, there's a dude shaped there's a dude shape under this giant fur coat.
Why am I over here suddenly?
It's like, there's a dude lying there, kind of like boots are kind of in the water.
Oh. Would that totally cancel out my option to do the heal wounds from here?
It doesn't prevent you from
If I
doing
totally
anything. You just see a dude lying there.
I'm just gonna go ahead and do that.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. All right.
See if he actually moves after this. Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah. So you shout some words there.
Hey, fur coat guy, you dead?
Hey Senka, you dead man. Okay. It's kind of moving up and around there. So that will be a. Why not? We'll do that. So Skadi, you feel this presence behind you as you see the flashes, and you are now aware of this other individual who's just up behind you now.
Do I know that it's the hottie, or
He, yeah.
okay? Well,
It
then she's
probably
happy.
takes you a moment to recognize it, but yeah.
Yeah, she's happy to see him.
Who's that for?
That was for Gil, because apparently he's not for Gil, but for Nicole. He's looking kind of shoddy.
I wasn't sure if that was actually a line there that he could see him. So
He basically did it as he was moving, checking his surroundings and seeing that uh, a target he recognizes is kind of in a little bit of a bad spot.
okay.
As he's going to keep the paralysis going on that one. Actually, he will try and do that. Come on. He'll try and ensnare both of those again. Skadi, go ahead and give me a quick Arcana check.
A what?
Give me a quick Arcana check. Good enough. From behind you, you hear the words. You hear some kind of incantation from behind you, and you recognize the spell being cast as Hold Person. As he's trying to bring about some paralysis on the on some of the soldiers here, which doesn't seem to take hold on anybody. Syl is going to gnaw at the guy who is paralyzed, and does so because of paralytic levels of advantage. And strength strength save from this guy. Oh yeah, he's still on his feet. But he did still take 9 points of damage from Wolf Bite. There is a groan from the individual at the water's edge as he slowly picks himself up to his feet and just, oh, the hell. Roro, what's going on? And it's at that moment as the face looks up and seems to recognize you. This is Tallow.
Oh my god, I thought it was Captain Switcher! I will be right back.
All right. While Roro goes to change his underwear, apparently.
Oh god, don't do that to me, Quinn.
No, I didn't use the Russian voice. I'm trying to. I don't have down a Nordic accent yet. Okay.
It sounded Russian to me.
No, I can give you. Look, do you want me to show you the difference?
I probably wouldn't actually hear the difference, but thanks.
Okay, well. Skadi.
Yep.
It is now your move.
Yep. Just because this is going well, I'm gonna use Shatter again.
Hit him again. Hit him again. Harder. Harder.
Okay, so from here I can get 2, I believe.
From which space?
I was gonna say that one, but maybe not.
If you hit it from the space, here, you can hit all 3 of them
That
again.
Without hitting Gil?
Without hitting Gil.
Okay.
Gets close, but it doesn't hit him.
He should move fast enough. He's usually pretty fast. Just yell things and hope he moves.
Yeah.
We're starting to see this kind of slip downwards ever so slightly.
This is why I don't believe in repetitiveness.
Okay, so we got 3 con saves. Guy in, no. Top guy, paralyzed guy. Okay, 2 saves. So, yeah, yeah. That guy just you see the figure that was thrashing around in the tarp stop moving. As just repeated concussive blasts just hammered him into the ground, and he's just out and done.
So pretty much as far as he knows, he just got killed by a tarp.
Yeah, pretty much. Just this he just hears this. He just hears this. Tarp. I mean, the tent jumps at him after this. It's like kathung. Tent jumps at him, wraps him up. Kathung, kathung, as he's just getting on the ground, going. Yeah.
Roro sobs and sighs, but doesn't actually know why yet.
No, he's not. I mean, you are hearing very loud noises.
He'll cry later. It's okay. Skadi, you are assigned to hold him. Don't give me that look.
All right. Anything more out of you, Skadi?
Hold on. Can I get past Gil at all?
Yeah. Just remember, if you leave melee range with an enemy, they get to take a swipe at you.
When will I be in melee range?
Well, I mean, if you're trying to just go past Gil, you'll. Well, no, that guy's paralyzed, so you can move freely, so long as you don't engage in
But I
melee
can
with.
move.
Yeah. That guy's the guy who would threaten you is paralyzed and can't do anything. So
Okay, then that's it.
as you go sliding past Gil, just he kind of gives you this this smiling nod. As he's seen what destruction you're wreaking over here.
So this is how she did that boat move. Suddenly is behind me.
Hmm. Nicole. Let's continue to fight. Hey, good strike. Congratulations, you actually got one.
Yay!
Nicole is on the board.
I
Motherfucker's got
feel
some
that.
terrible rolls.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'm just saying,
I
Nicole
feel that.
finally got one. Hey, at least he's ahead of Roro.
That's true.
5, 10, 15. As he'll just kind of, he's tense. He's still got his warfork. He sees Dahadi. He's just, the hell is going on here? We don't have time for that. Not yet. Gil. Okay. So here's what's gonna happen here.
Oh no. Gil's gonna come in and flash his man sword all over the place.
It's a spear, thank you.
Slash his man spear. That does not make it much better, Quinn.
But it's accurate.
Oh, God.
So that's 5, 12, 13. No, that's 13. 21. I think that's. Yep. Comes, jabs that guy, and why not? He'll take a step in and.
Get right in her range.
Yeah, he's not going to take that attack, but he's squaring up against this other guy as he just kind of throws another one to the ground, hooked, and is just locking eyes with this other soldier. Who takes a look at the carnage here and just. Yeah, no. He's going to try and bounce.
Does he always bounce? You know
Yeah,
what?
there's always that last guy who goes, oh, fuck no.
Scotty, get him. Get him, Scotty. Get him.
Roro.
Go get him, Scotty. Oh. Shit. What's his name again?
Tallow.
Tallow. For some reason I wanted to say that with an F, so I was very unsure.
Yeah.
Tallow, sir. Are you feeling better?
Seems to be leaning on a battle axe right now.
I can give you another heal if you want. I don't know how to word that.
You don't know how
Another
to work that?
spell? Huh?
You know what now?
Give you another spell? I don't know how to word it, Quinn.
He still looks quite injured for what it's worth.
Okay, then we will do that. I'm gonna do cure wounds on him.
Okay.
Level 2.
Well, that's certainly 15 points is definitely appreciated. He's looking a bit better. He looks kind of disoriented, but he does look all right.
Perfect.
Anything more out of you?
No, I think that's all I can do.
Okay. Oh, Dehate. He doesn't necessarily have a whole lot in the way of ranged attacks. So he's taking a look around. As do perception. Yeah.
sill. 5, 10. Why is this not moving? Why are you not? Oh, there's something so wrong with this token. Okay, you know what? You're just going away. The hell did I just do? What the hell just happened?
Can you imagine Jesus being real? God, there's something wrong with this token.
Alright, I guess I'll just work off of this. Because apparently certain things didn't quite take. So,
So still wolf form.
still wolf form, but the tokens are being weird. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Tallow, just, again, is just kind of looking. He's got a circular wooden shield slung across his back. He's leaning on his on this large battle axe that he's got in his hand. Just kind of puts a hand on your shoulders. Thank you, son. They gone now.
Welcome, Father. I don't know.
Skadi.
Is there any way I can move where I could use some kind of range spell without getting Phil, who's standing right in front of that guy?
Well, there's definitely chill touch because that just creates a spectral hand at 100 to 120 feet to go up and give him a tappy tap.
Okay, is hold on. Oh, I really hate this spell though, but I guess I'll try it.
That'll hit. And
Yay!
dear God, does that hit? Okay. Yeah, this guy was not doing so hot to begin with, so yeah, just spectral claws that just kind of reach up and kind of get him in the back of the neck and drag him down to the ground as he just kind of his eyes, his helmet falls off as he collapses backwards onto the ground, and you see his eyes are kind of rolled up and his flesh is kind of crinkled and like kind of desiccated in a way, and it's kind of cracking this dry, just pallor as the necrotic energies just kind of course into his head. And yeah, he's down.
Damn, child.
Cuddy leaves nobody to tell secrets.
Well, you let one or two people get away before, and you saw what happened there.
That's true. She learned her lesson.
About to say, we always seem to get fired villages and such.
Yeah. There is a brief moment where kind of the adrenaline is still pumping loud in your ears, but it seems like the sounds of fighting and heavy footfalls have stopped for the moment. I would like perception checks from the two of you again.
I'm not doing good with this perception thing.
No, you're not. But basically, as you're kind of Roro, as you're moving up towards everybody with Tallow kind of using his battle axe a bit as a walking stick and hand on your shoulder, kind of using you as a guide as he's starting to get his footwork steady again. You can hear the din of commotion coming from close in the tree line. It is the sound of a large group of individuals.
My people.
Your people set fire to villages.
Shut up. Clearly it was Toddy.
Wow. shows up, immediately gets blamed for things.
Every single time we see
Someone's
this
propaganda complaint campaign is working.
Every time we see this man, it's around fire.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. The village he left you at didn't seem to catch fire, for all you know.
Yeah, but we met him because it was on fire.
No, that was Alta. That was Scotty's hometown. I'm talking about the second one you came to.
Oh, the second one. Oh.
For
Yeah,
all
that's
you
'cause we
know,
were
that
nice
hasn't
to
been
him.
burned down yet.
For all that we know.
For all that you know, could have been
Anyway,
burnt
town
down.
people.
So yeah, as you're hearing the march of a battalion coming in here, and you see that Gil has kind of not stood down yet, as he's just kind of looking around. He hears this too. There is a growling from Syl up in the north, just fuck. Just Gil's takes a second, goes, "There's more coming here." Kind of takes
Jesus.
he takes a step back, kind of close to Skadi, or Hadi's just like, "No, there's too many of them." He does not look exactly pleased with the level of activity he's hearing either. Where Nicolo's just like, "All right then, come on along the river. Let's beat it to the drift." As they start heading towards the river, as those boots are starting to sound like they're getting rather close.
Is that my hut?
Yeah, you see a flattened bit of place where you recognize, and not only has it been flattened, but there's like sticks pointing out of it. There's multiple tears in the fabric and the leathers. Everything is all askew, and it's starting to singe and smoke and catch fire along the edges.
I want names. I want names and people.
Sorry.
Oh.
Collateral damage.
He's just gonna sob silently for a little while. Ignore him.
Roro presses F for his tent.
Moment of silence.
So Tallow is kind of limping a bit, to kind of spare you from having to lean on him directly. I believe it would be you, sir. Yeah. You had Nicole kind of go and collect Tallow off of your shoulder, Roro, and is basically helping him along. He's noted that you're not as strong, and having somebody lean on you is probably going to hamper your ability to escape.
Oh wow, I'm very surprised you all care about this.
Well, it's either that he knows that Tallow's going to slow you down, or you're going to slow Tallow down. One of the two. Either way, it's a net gain for everybody. As you escape down the river, and I would like everyone to make an athletics check.
This should be good. So what the hell?
I did better than you.
Eh. Oh yeah, they're not doing too good. Way to drag down averages, guys. Yeah, both Tallow and Syl are kind of holding you guys up, and let's see here. That would just be strength then. All right, well, they're moving as a giant unit anyway. It you hear the treading. It sounds like you are being followed by a detachment, but it doesn't sound like they're catching up so much. So 6, 4. We'll say that's a +3 as a general. So what we will have happen here is either Skadi or Roro, whichever one you wanted to uh, to make the roll, is you're going to be rolling as a average for your group. This will be a straight D20 roll +3 that will add on to it. Which one of you are going to make this roll?
I think Roro's done better on average.
You're D20.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
roll a D2. It's basically roll a D20, add 3, because that's pretty much the average athletics bonus for your group. So you're basically in charge of the group's progress.
Oh no.
It's going to be a +3 no matter which one of you rolls, but one of you is rolling. Okay, so you got a 19 to that roll. Good job.
Yay! I didn't fail everyone and die.
Yeah, no, you're. It looks like you're starting to. It's like you're starting to pull away. They're still on your heels, and
Clearly.
it's not like well they're a distance away, and with everyone kind of keeping an ear out for it, you are starting to get a decent clip away. And does that actually? All right. So you're at a decent enough clip where Syl will again mutter something, and it and afterwards you notice that you are not leaving footprints any longer after pushing kind of in towards the river. This spell is cast, and then drifting off of the bank and back into the snow. You are no longer leaving tracks in the snow. Give me one of you. Give me another 20 + 3 roll.
Yeah, let's try you.
Wow. That just had to happen, didn't it?
Oh! And then we all died.
Oh, okay. Well, here's at least a thing. So that's a 4. Plus the spell, we're adding a 10 to that. Okay. They're getting a little closer, but it seems like they're getting a little closer. You're continuing to make your run along the coast. Give me another.
Oh, yeah, Sam.
One of you two. Either one. Do it.
Oh.
You guys are starting to get tired. I mean, you ran the entire way up to the camp to see what was going on. You know, you had your scrap, and you guys are getting worn out. They are you hear the sounds that they are getting closer. Gonna need one more out of you guys. And just because, Skadi, this is gonna be you rolling it.
Me?
Yep, you're gonna be doing the last d20 roll here.
Yay!
Okay, hey, that's an average roll, so that's good. So that's 23 for you guys. You manage to pull away a little bit, and you see, you kind of break off the coastline here. Essentially. Which, the whole of your group essentially comes from off this side, where you see a couple of the crewmen. There's like two other boarding boats, which has supplies loaded, has barrels of supplies that you've got, part of what you've gotten from Switcher, lying on the sand there, and you're hearing that march of people still behind you, still kind of getting uncomfortably close as you break through the tree lines and onto the shore, as a couple of the oarsmen are just like, Captain, what's the smoke for? It's like, get on the boats! Back to the drift! As you all rush and clamor yourself, it's like, as one of them starts to speak up about the supplies, he's like, just leave them! Get us out of here! As you get onto the boats, shove off, and you're kind of in between the three boats. The whole of your group is able to get on, minus any of the several barrels of foodstuffs and whatnot that were being transported. And as the rowing happens there, as you're pulling back towards the ship, we're going to have d20 rolls be made. Just straight up, each of you roll a d20.
Just leave Scotty behind.
Oh no, you're in the boat. Don't worry about it. You're on the boat and offshore, heading back towards the ship. Yeah. So as you're going there, you see a cadre of about. At first, there's like 5 or 6 soldiers breaching the tree line, and you see torchlight of others coming here. There's a large battalion coming at you. A couple of them pull longbows, and you see a hail of arrows start flooding towards you. That will be Skadi, Roro, and Dahadi are each threatened by an arrow strike. And it looks like
Oh, sorry.
wisdom save. Save versus panic. I don't know, what was that even. You keep, for what it's worth, you keep your relative cool because you're just sitting there. They're too far away to do anything to. But yeah, it looks like each of you kind of takes a bit of damage from these arrows, as a lot of them hit into the water, but it looks like mostly just surface wounds. Yeah, they're not terribly accurate, but you do take a little bit of damage as you pull away from them, as they fire a couple more volleys as they advance on the beach towards you. But by that point, you're far enough away that their attacks are just kind of falling in the water, and you hear what would apparently be one of their captains, call off the attack, and basically just you see a couple of them branch off and start heading upwards along the coast. A couple of them down lower, and it looks like they're setting up a loose perimeter to prevent you from just slipping back onto the shore, 100 feet up or whatever. But you end up making it back to the drift. Beaten, a
because of
little
the
bit wary, you make it onto the boat. What was that, Roro?
Is that because of the wisdom save or no?
It's not because of anything directly. Just Skadi wasn't panicking, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to fit that role in somehow, but you safely make it back on board the drift. Uh, a few barrels of supplies that were supposed to go to Tallow lighter, but you've got about 3 new people on board. And discussions of your next move to plan. Whereas where we will close that off for the time being, and we'll see what happens intermission wise. But good job. You soundly beat that guy and murdered a tent. I'd say that's a pretty successful day.
9 for
Where,
10.
yeah, it was just a loner to you anyway. But back
Yes,
aboard.
but
What's that?
I blessed it, so it
You
was
had
better
blessed.
than.
Why does that make me think that you were masturbating furiously within it?
Oh god! Oh my god!
I mean, how else would you bless a tent that you were alone in? You're not a holy man.
Sorry, we lost Scotty absolute permanently.
I don't know about permanently, but for a few minutes anyway.
Nope,
But
it looks permanent to me.
but you're currently out on the boat.
Not the boat again.
You're on the boat again, under much more urgent circumstance this time around. Now with not only Tallow and Syl, but also Dahadi in tow. And we'll figure out what happens next time. That's going to be a thing that happens.